Ladies and gentlemen, the Season 3 Reloaded update is officially here, at least kind of. What we get with these big updates is the patch notes are actually released a couple of hours before the actual update comes out. And I believe the actual update is out at 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. But of course, this video is going to be up a little bit before then, so you will know everything that you are getting your hands on inside of this update. And there is a lot here. There's a ton of weapon and attachment adjustments. On top of that, there is movement changes, something people have been asking for a very long time. Will they be enough? I don't know. You'll have to wait till we get to that portion. There's new weapons, new weapon camos, and a bunch of different quality of life improvements in the game overall. It's a very big update, and we have a lot to go over in this video. And essentially, that's exactly what we're going to do. Go over everything that has changed within the Season 3 Reloaded update. Later today, the raid is coming out. We'll be doing that on the channel, a full walkthrough of that, so you guys can get through that as well. The reward for that is the Alex Operator, which is pretty cool. It's probably the best reward we've seen so far through a raid. So that's what we're going to be doing. But first, I just wanted to tell you guys about Gamer Advantage. If you recognize my glasses, you've seen them in many of my videos. If you're going to be grinding Season 3 Reloaded real hard, you're going to be playing for a long period of time, you definitely want to pick yourself up a pair of these. Not only are you going to look fantastic, but they actually protect your eyes, making it so there's less eye strain, less eye redness if you're gaming for a long period of time. It also helps you sleep. So if you're gaming all day, need to go to bed, it's actually going to help you fall asleep a little bit quicker, and then you can get up, do the whole thing the next day, just like you did before with no eye strain. And these really do help out. So if you want to check them out, first link down below. They're a big partner of the channel, and by picking them up, you're also supporting the channel. But without further ado, let's dive into that blog post. So here they are, the Season 3 patch notes. We're going to go through these as quickly as possible. Some things are going to be in much more detail than others, but to start off, we have our new event. So for the seasonal event for Season 3 Reloaded, we are getting another camo challenge just like we did for Season 2 Reloaded. The challenges are as follows. With assault rifles, get 250 operator kills, battle rifles, 30 headshots, SMGs, get 3 operator kills without dying 30 times, shotguns, 30 hipfire kills, LMGs, 50 operator kills while mounted, marksman rifles, get 25 long shot operator kills. Those ones suck. Same with the sniper rifles, 30 though. And then handguns, 50 operator kills, and launchers, 40. This shouldn't be too hard whatsoever. But on top of that, we are getting a new map called the Alboran Hatchery. It's a medium-sized core map, so in other words 6v6, taking place in the remote facility in Spain. That is where the one campaign mission, the all gillied up style mission, takes place within the campaign, so pretty cool that they're adding it in. It appears to be a little bit bigger than I originally thought, so it's not going to be shipment size or anything like that, but medium size, so it's not going to be too big. They made some adjustment to calling cards, but this is mainly for the UI. And then gameplay, a challenge to unlock the Cronin Squall's Sakin ZX grip has been added, as well as a challenge for the underbarrel drill charge attachments for the Kastov 762, the STB, and the TAC 56 have been added as well. The hybrid optic no longer glints well in low magnification. That's pretty cool. And tracer effects can now be applied through the attachment skin customization menu. So again, just some UI fixes, things like that. So then the next section is damage feedback visibility. I believe this is all for when you are personally taking damage. It's going to be less jarring and things like that. After this, we have movement. So this is a big one. So camera movement while walking and sprinting has been reduced. So you're not going to be shaking around as much while you move. Weapon raise delay following parachute landing decreased by 30%. That's good. Initial sliding acceleration increased by 6%. So sliding is now 6% faster, at least at the beginning. And the height threshold for single-handed mantling has been increased, allowing for more aggressive traversal. So these are faster movement changes, something people have been asking for a while. As far as time to kill, we're going to get to that. The way they're addressing it is very strange in my opinion, but we'll get to that one in a second. As far as new weapons go, we have the FTAC Siege handgun. This is essentially a machine pistol like the Tech 9, and it's going to be very interesting to see how this fits into the meta. We also have the fully automatic Desert Eagle, the GS Magna handgun. This is crazy. I don't know how this one's going to go, especially because you can akimbo it. So we'll have to, I'm assuming it has a ton of recoil, but we'll have to wait and see. As far as how to unlock these, first off, we have the FTAC Siege. This one is the 50 hip fire operator kills with handguns. That one's pretty easy. And then the GS Magna is 30 headshot operator kills with the 50 GS. So specifically with that deagle. Then we have the throwing stars. This is unlocked by 50 operator kills with the throwing knife. Now the weird part about this one is it says it demands more accuracy from its wielder, Well, less accurate hits will not result in a kill, so it's not a one-hit kill if you don't probably hit chest and up. But the thing is you can actually carry more of these. That's the trade-off. So in my mind, this is just not as good. So then we get into our weapon balancing, and there's a lot here that I need to read through and a lot here that's mainly to do with Warzone and time to kill. So first of all, we have the first raise. The delay between first equipping a weapon and being able to fire it has been decreased across numerous weapons. It doesn't say which ones. It might get into that in the patch notes. Quick raise and quick drop. Quick raise and quick drop speeds have been uniformly increased, allowing for more rapid deployment of equipment, which is further improved by fast hands. So in other words, you can do things faster in game. They didn't give us exact values. The exclusive Ace, I'm sure we'll dive into that and give us some information on that, but that's good. And I'm curious whether this is across Modern Warfare 2 and Warzone 2 or just Warzone 2, but by the sounds of it and looks of it, it should be both. Armor damage. Maximum armor damage values have been added to all assault rifles, battle rifles, submachine guns, and light machine guns. These values will assist in slowing down close range time to kill. So in other words, the max amount of damage that a weapon can do to armor has been implemented. So you can't just nuke someone up close with an assault rifle because those values of damage you're going to do to armor have been capped out. On top of this, minimum armor damage has been adjusted or added to several weapons to increase their viability at long ranges. And then we'll get into what has actually happened down below with the individual weapons. So the way I normally do this is we go through each weapon and I kind of tell you whether it's a buff or a nerf and why. So a lot of these are Warzone 2 only, so pay attention to that as we go through. So for the Basilisk, minimum armor damage increased, which is a buff. For the P890, we have minimum armor damage added. So I believe that is also a buff. The X12, same thing. The X13 auto, same thing as well. I believe those are buffs, but I'm not exactly sure how that works. It's kind of confusing. So getting into the big ones, I'm going to try to go through this quickly. The Bas P, overall, very large buff to this weapon. The Lockman sub basically got a buff to the burst fire, and that is it. The Miniback, minimum armor damage increased, so that's a buff. The MX9 has a minimum armor damage added, which I still believe is a buff. I'm just not 100% sure. The Vaznev 9K, maximum damage range decreased, so that is the one with the nerf there. So the more I've read this, the more sense I've made of it. When it says minimum armor damage added, this is actually buffing it at long range. So the Chimera got a slight buff. This is a very good weapon and should only get better. The ISO Hemlock overall got quite a large nerf. The Kastov 545 overall got a nerf. The Kastov 762 is an interesting one, so it should be a little bit better at long range because of the minimum armor damage added. However, the extremities multiplier is decreased, so I guess overall this one is a nerf. Kastov 74U is going to be a little bit better at long range because of that minimum armor damage added. So the Lockman 556 overall, I believe, got a buff. It's just whether or not this mid damage range is going to make it worse or not. I'm not 100% sure. The M16 got a buff, but I still don't think it's going to be competitive. The M4 is going to do more damage at long range in semi-automatic mode. The M13B appears to have got a buff, and the TAC 56, the maximum damage range is decreased, so that is a nerf. The FTAC Recon got a slight long range buff against armor. Same with the Lockman 762. Overall, the SO14 got quite a big buff, and the TAC V got a long range damage buff against armor. The next one's a little bit concerning because it's shotguns, but the Bryson 800 got a mid damage increase, so that's a buff. Same with the Bryson 890. The Lockwood 300 got that minimum armor damage added, so in other words, it's a little bit better against armor at long range. And we get into the light machine guns. These really aren't very big at all. The HCR is going to be a little bit better at long range, and the other ones just the first time you raise the weapons a little bit faster. So no real big changes there. Then we get into attachments. So first of all, ammunition, explosive. So these are for your sniper rifles, the one-hit kill sniper rifles. The bullet velocity has been decreased, so they're going to be a little bit harder to use. Attachment tuning has been enabled for the snake shot. And the 300 blackout rounds, the maximum armor damage has been added. So that's actually a nerf to those. For the laser, all around laser visibility has been decreased. A couple of lasers now block the core BP2 underbarrel. There were some adjustments to the double tap mod for the Fennec. But overall, I'm not exactly sure how it'll work. It's going to do less damage up close, more damage at long range, and you have more bullets with it. So I'm not exactly sure if that's a buff or a nerf. The single tap mod for the STB got a little bit of a buff. The time between shots has been decreased, which is a good thing. For large magazines, the ADS speed penalty has been decreased, and same with movement speed. So they're going to be a little bit better. You're going to see a lot of people running these already within Warzone. So That's a good thing. More movement speed all around. And small magazines, the benefits of using them, in other words, the movement benefits of small magazines are going to have more of a big deal and impact in the game as well. As far as the rest of these, I don't find that they're going to have a total huge impact on the game. So if you would like, as I go through and scroll through here, you can pause and check out these individual changes, but nothing too big whatsoever there. As far as kill streaks go, in Warzone 2, with the cluster mine, armor damage has been decreased. So essentially the cluster mine has been nerfed. There's also been a few bug fixes here as well within Warzone 2. Nothing too crazy that we really need to go over. They're very specific things, as well as bug fixes for vehicles as well. There's been a couple audio adjustments, but nothing that should really change the gameplay too much altogether. As per every update, we are getting user interface adjustments and improvements there as well. Then we get into Spec Ops. I'm not actually going to read through this. We did when we previewed Season 3 Reloaded. It says essentially the exact same thing. Essentially, Alex is replacing Gaz. They are going underground. They are hunting down Hadir in the missing warhead. We also are getting a new Defender mission within co-op. This one's called Hafid Port. Then we get into Modern Warfare 2. As far as this one goes, the modes that we are getting here, we are getting face-off. So that's 3v3. There's going to be kill confirm, domination, team deathmatch, and all of these are going to be on gunfight maps. And kill streaks and field upgrades are disabled. Then we have gunfight. They are adding in OSP. In other words, that is the one where you have to pick up weapons off the ground. I don't like that version of gunfight, so nothing big for me here. And then we have giant infected. This is infected, but on the big maps in the game. So more people, more potential for kills, should be fun. So then we have Warzone 2, and we have a couple of really cool things within Warzone 2. First of all, on Al Mazrah, a sandstorm spotted in the outskirts of Al Mazrah is headed toward Al Mazrah City. Operators should expect reduced visibility in this area. So I'm assuming this is something big coming in Season 4, a big sandstorm coming to the map, and this is the start of it. So that is pretty cool. Adjustments to the game, UAV pings will now emit from the player who activated the kill streak. If the player who activated the UAV is killed, the UAV will finish. That's pretty interesting. Using 3 UAVs will still upgrade the signal to an advanced UAV. So that's actually a pretty interesting update there. Mortar Strike. The amount of missiles dropped during a Mortar Strike has been decreased by 25%, so a nerf to the Mortar Strike. And then they disabled the ability to ping enemies through smoke or water. The water one, I'm not 100% sure about. Then on Ashika Island, they added more possible buy stations. The next section here is quality of life changes to Warzone, and honestly, I didn't see anything here that's completely game-changing, more so just user interface and HUD things to do with in-game playing. And of course, more bug fixes as well. So when Season 3 Reloaded comes out today, on May 10th, we have the ranked play beta. We're going to have trios for that. For Battle Royale, there is only going to be solos and quads. And then Ashika Island, you have solos, duos, trios, and quads. On May 17th, we once again have the ranked play beta out. Battle Royale, we are only going to have quads. For solos, we are going to have Mini Royale. And then for solos and trios, we have Ashika Resurgence. And then for Massive Resurgence, we have duos and quads. And then Plunder quads will be there that week as well. So many different playlists. Why they separate them from each individual playlist and the amount of players is very strange to me. Then we have May 24th, we have ranked play. For Battle Royale, we have duos, trios, and quads. For Ashika Resurgence, we have duos and quads, and then Massive Resurgence, solos, and trios. It's very, very strange how they separate it. We've already talked about ranked play, so we don't have to go into that in too much depth. My video for that will be linked down below if you want to check it out. As far as new features within Season 3, there are deployable buy stations. I don't think we need to explain how those work. They've already been in the game. There's lootable perk packages. If you want to check out what these are, they're listed out here. They're listed out here. They can either be bought at buy stations or you can actually find them in loot, which is pretty cool. They are available for $3,500 in game. There's also the Gulag Entry Kit, which if you've already used your Gulag, you can loot this and it gives you another crack at the can at the Gulag. Right here, you can pause it if you want to read through all of these, but there has been some price changes at the buy stations. I'm not reading through all of these little bug changes. The patch notes will be linked down in the description, but at Strongholds, they've removed armor plates from enemies, reduced their accuracy by 27%, primary weapon limited to the Kastov 762, and equipment limited to frag, semtex, and gas grenades. That's a pretty big nerf to AI. So we have DMZ. We're not going to go too much in depth here, but there's the Koshi complex. I believe from what I'm reading here, it says deploy to Al Mazrah and access one of 4 unique entrances to explore dark secrets of this facility. Now, what's weird is it says it's a new exclusion zone, but it says it's on Al Mazrah. So I don't fully understand as of yet whether you just spawn into this map or you spawn into Al Mazrah and then you go into this area of the map. It's strange to me, but from what we're reading, it appears like the latter. New items, there is night vision goggles. So I'm assuming that's going to have something to do with the Koshi complex. That's essentially it. That's all the major changes coming with Season 3 Reloaded. There was a lot there. There was a lot that I skipped that were mainly bug fixes. And if you want to read those will be linked down in the description. You can check out all of those patch notes. But it's a big update. There's a lot being added here. Warzone ranked is a big thing. On top of that, many quality of life, weapon changes, things like that. So hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you found it informative, hit that like button. We have the raid coming out later today, so stay tuned for that. And if you want to get yourself a pair of glasses, check out that link down below as well. But as always, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe, have notifications on. And as always, until next time, peace out.
We are reaching for the stars, but we're making